So, hi, Brett here, and I wanted, as we come into lesson 7, this is the last open lesson for the most part. I had said when I started this that I would do 7 free lessons. Actually, I said 6, and then I extended it to 7, and then everything past that, 8, 9, 10, through the rest of this year and next year will be Patreon only, and I am changing that. I am going to do 1 free lesson a month. When I say free, I mean open lesson a month for everyone. So whether you support me as a patron or not, you'll still get 1 free lesson a month that will come out on every Friday at 9 in the morning. But I want to explain a little bit about me, about Patreon, what I'm trying to do. And you notice I'm almost a floating head. And I'm actually wearing a black shirt that I always wear when I record. I put a black cover over my chair. Sometimes you see a little bit in there. I'm wearing black pants. I have a black wall behind me. This is actually something I hung up here that covers the entire wall. And on this part of my floor, it's completely black. And I'm telling you that because I put a lot of effort, a lot of hard work into my lessons so that they look professional. When you see my hands, when you've seen my lessons before, pretty much what you see is the banjo and my hands, and that's it. I'm not trying to be impersonal. What I want is your focus on exactly what I'm doing, not on the dog that jumps in my lap in the middle of my lesson or things of that nature. And I'm not against that. That's not at all. I'm not against that. I'm just trying to make, I've always believed if you're going to do something, do it to the utmost. I don't just sit down here and throw it out. I don't know if you've noticed, but every lesson I've done has built upon the next lesson. And that is my plan as we move forward. So I'm not just going to give you a bunch of songs that don't connect or don't mean anything. They will build one upon the next, upon the next. And there is no reason you cannot completely learn the banjo using these lessons. I do teach a little bit different. I don't use tab. I don't offer tab. I'm not against tab. I will tell you the tab slows you down. I will also tell you the tab limits you when you're using tab. And as I go through lessons, I'll tell you stories of that. I'll tell you some examples of that, of why tab slows you down. But the problem is we use our eyes so much, and we don't really teach our hands to play. And we don't teach our mind to play. There's a difference between learning to play the banjo and learning to play a song. I'm not as concerned about you learning to play a song right now as I am about you learning to play a banjo. And, a lot of the things that I teach, and I'll give you an example. One of the things I teach is that you break the song down in little pieces and you don't move on. In other words, if you have a 20-minute lesson, that lesson should probably take you a good hour to do or longer to master, because you want to take each little section and memorize it. By the time you're done with the lesson, you have the tune completely memorized. You don't forget it. It sticks in. And the reason so many people have trouble memorizing is because they're simply looking for the next note on a piece of tab or on a piece of paper. So I do teach a little bit different. If you go to my YouTube channel, you'll see a whole list and a playlist called Tips and Helps that deal with discouragement, that teach you how to fret, that teaches you how to fail at music, how to fail in your attempts, how to succeed. There's a lot of things on there besides just a bunch of lessons. And I spend hours and hours putting my lessons together, recording them, editing them, and planning them out. I do teach Bluegrass Banjo, which I learned as a teenager. I also teach the claw hammer, I teach hammer dulcimer, and I teach mountain dulcimer. So I am teaching 4 different instruments. Bluegrass Banjo was my first. So I just wanted to explain that. The way Patreon, let me explain Patreon, because I know people don't necessarily get it. Patreon, the idea of having patrons goes back to, I believe, the Sistine Chapel. I believe that was actually Patreon built So it does go back a long way, but it's something that has come out new. And what patron is you're supporting the creator, you're supporting the musician, you're supporting the music by helping that supporter do what he needs to do. One of my first patrons made a comment and said to me, he was meaning to compliment me, and he said, "You don't charge like some of those other teachers do." And I wrote him back and I said, "I know you meant that as a compliment, but actually, when somebody charges, they should charge. Just like if an electrician comes to your house, you pay them. They expect to be paid because they're doing a service. You're consuming what they are offering. If your dryer breaks down and the repairman comes out, you don't say to him, 'Well, thank you,' and then go on your way. You pay him because you're consuming his expertise and his abilities and his. So they charge a certain fee. They should charge a certain fee. I'm not charging a fee. What I'm doing is I am basically letting you give what you want. Now, the entry level is $5 a month. You can go up to higher than that. I know there's a $25 where you get a free lesson. And if you look at it this way, if you spend 30 minutes for a one-on-one Skype lesson, you're paying $20-30. This would be included in that 25 level plus all the lessons, etc. There's another one. It's limited. It's $40 a month, and you get 10-minute segments, up to 16 10-minute segments a month, which is quite a bit, where you learn that way. It works very well. But the entry level is only $5, and it's a very inexpensive way to learn to play the banjo on structured lessons that are very personal, that are very customized and built one on top of another. So I have talked long enough. I'm going to give you lesson 7 next month. Yes, lesson 7 next month will be patron supported, and I will throw in a free lesson every month. But next month is Christmas in July. I did hesitate on doing this, but I'm going to. I'm going to be teaching next week Silent Night, which you will get free because that'll be your lesson, the free lesson of the month. Normally they'll come on the 3rd. Then the first Noel, and there's 2 more Christmas carols, and I can't remember what the names of them are offhand, but there will be previews up, and that'll all be patron at that time. But you will get Silent Night, so you're actually getting 8 straight lessons in a row. I didn't want to skip because I want you to get that first lesson down because of what we're doing today. Because what we're doing today is going to build to those Christmas carols. But what I was going to tell you about them is they're great practice. I like to use tunes as tools for learning. So there you go. I'm going to let you go. You've been sitting here listening to me ramble long enough. I hope you join. I hope you become a patron. And I hope to see you on a regular basis. If not, I'll see you once a month at least. If you have any questions, if I can help in any way, just contact me. Let me know. And thank you so much for watching. Let's go to the lesson. So let's get started. And we're going to cover a lot of things. But I want you to be able, if you're not going to continue with the lessons, and that is fine, I want to give you something that you can use for a long time to come, where you can actually learn to pick out tunes on your own by learning this G scale. We're going to do the G scale simple, just simple notes. Then we're going to put chords to it. And then I'm going to give you some practice up and down your neck with all your left hand, but then I'm going to give you something to do with your right hand in accordance with what we're doing with our left hand. Okay, so this is the free lesson of the month. Again, they'll normally fall on the 3rd week, but as we're going to continue this, if you're continuing, because of the Christmas carols we're doing next month, this will take you a long way into those lessons. So you're going to pick the 3rd string open with your thumb, 3rd string, 2nd fret, 2nd string open, 2nd string, 1st fret, 1st finger. So you're playing open, 2, open, 1. 3rd string open, 3rd string, 2nd fret, 2nd string open, 2nd string, 1. And I would just practice that. Do that so that you can do that without looking, so that you're teaching your fingers to play, not your eyes. Try not to look at either hand. And if you can't do that yet, just keep working on it until you can. Now, you have an option here. I'm just going to show you the option, but we're going to stick with one. Learn them both. You could use your ring finger on 3 on the 2nd string. The reason I want you to learn that is because as we play into some more bluegrassy songs later on, you're going to use this position a lot. O, 2, next string, O, 1, 3. So learn that forward and backward, and we're going to keep going. Then you're going to put your middle finger down on the 1st string at 2, ring finger on 4, 5. So for the 1st string you're playing 2, 4, 5. Middle, ring, ring. So. So you want to learn it forward, you want to learn it backward. Now, you have a lot of duplicated notes on your instrument. This 2nd string at the 3rd fret is the same as the 1st string open. So you could play it this way. O, 2, O, 1, 1st string, 2, 3, 4. Make sure you're using the correct fingering. Now let's try something different. And again, stop and make sure you learn all this. Don't continue on with me right now unless you can play that forward and backwards. So we're going to pick the 3rd and the 1st. Pick that 3rd string open. We're focusing on our scale. Make your D7. You're playing the 3rd and 1st. You're going to play the 2nd string and the 1st. You're just pinching. Make a C chord. So you're playing open, D7, 2nd string, open, C chord. Then you're just going to pinch up because the melody note is this 1st string. Make your C chord again. Slide that up. When you slide your ring up, you're going to have both fingers down on 5. So you're making your C chord here. You're on 1 and 2. You're going to slide it to 3 and 4. And then up to 5. And you can play that with just one finger. So it's going to sound like this. Now, what I really want you to focus on is this. Open, C, this is actually a D, the 3-4. And just practice it over and over. That's going to really, really strengthen your left hand. And I just want to show you something. Of course, you can get much fancier, but it's showing you how you can do that left hand. That was the first Noel, if you didn't know what I was doing there. But, so here's what we're going to do. 5, both fingers down. Go up to 7, both fingers down. So if you notice, the ring finger is staying down. Up to 7, Slide the ring finger up to 9. Now you'll have markings on your instrument, probably at 7 and at 10 and at 12. And you could actually use your ring, you probably should use your ring in middle. So let's do that again. And then switch. Keep the ring down. So 8, 9 with your index and ring. Slide that ring up to 10, drop the middle, up to 12. And we're not worried about going farther right now. So. And really practice that. Watch the fingering different. The fingering on 8, 9 is the same as on 1, 2, and 3, 4. Oops, sorry. So make sure you also take the time to learn this. This might take you, it might take you a week. It doesn't really matter how long it takes. Speed is not the important thing. It's getting the accuracy down. So now I'm going to give you something with your right hand that you can use with your left hand. So what I want you to do is play 3, 2, 1. And now this is your first note of your scale. 3, 2, 1. Make your D7. 3, 2, 1. Now this is why I want you to learn this. Then you're going to play 2, 1, 5, because you're going up your scale. So let's review that, because your roll is going to start on whatever your melody note of the scale is. So if we're playing O2 on the third and then O1 on the second, those first two notes we're going to start the roll on the third, and the second rolls we're going to start on the second. I hope that makes sense, but I'll break it down for you. So we've got O 3, 2, 1. That's open. Make your D7. 3, 2, 1. Then we're going to play the second string open, and we're going to play 2, 1, 5. Make your C. 2, 1, 5. And if you want there, you could play, I'm just helping you get ideas. You don't have to do exactly what I'm doing. You could play 1, 2, 1. So let's do that. 3, 2, 1, D7, 3, 2, 1. Then you're going to play 2, 1, 5. Make your C, 2, 1, 5. Then you're going to play open 1, 2, 1. Middle, index, middle. Here's what's really important. Learn it this way. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. Make your D7. 3, 2, 1. It's not about speed. Now we have to go to the next string. We're going to play 2, 1, 5. 2, 1, 5. 2, 1, 5. 2, 1, 5. You could use index, middle, thumb. So get that down and then go back. Now make your C chord, and you're going to play that same pattern, 2, 1, 5. Then open, and you're going to play 1, 2, 1. I'm just giving you something clear to work on. 2, 1. That's open, 1, 2, 1. again. That's where we're at. Notice I'm playing the first note harder than the fill-in. So you're sliding that up, playing the same pattern. Sorry. Just a 5. Now, we're going to keep going up to 7. So we're going to play 1, 2, 1, 8, 9, 10, 12. Sorry. Now, it doesn't matter if you do forward or backwards. Let me show you this. Start up on 12 and do a backwards roll. So you're going to play, let's play 1, 2, 5. So 1, 2, 5, 10, 1, 2, 5, 9 and 8, 7, 5, 4, and 3. And again, I don't care if you go all the way down your scale. I really want you to stay on this first string. Or backward roll. So that right there is really, really good. Let's do that again. So we'll just play 5, 2, 1. We're going to do a forward roll going up. 5, 2, 1, 5, 2, 1, 5, 2, 1, 5, 2, 1, 5, 2, 1. And whether it sounds good or not, it's not going to matter at this point as far as the notes. I want you to get the forward roll down. And if you could do both of these together, you've got the chords down. Here's a backward roll. We can play 1, 2, 5. So again, forward roll. You're going to really start here. Backward roll. Now here's the thing of this. You don't really want to try this with the right hand until you get these chords down. You don't want to have to think about these chords. You want your fingers to know exactly where to go without you thinking about it. Oh, sorry, let's just start here. And that is really going to help you with the songs to come. And again, I showed you First Noel, Silent Night. Let's see, how's it go? you can see how that really helps. And again, after July, we're going to go back into more bluegrassy things. But I want to give you 6 solid months for those who are continuing to get these tunes down for Christmas. So I hope you stick with me. If you don't, good luck. And you'll still get a free lesson once a month. And I appreciate if you stick with that. But for those who would like to continue in this, these are going to be very personal. They will build right on top of each other. All the lessons will be numbered as we've done so far. I believe this is lesson number 8, lesson number 9. Actually, this is lesson 7. Lesson 8 is Silent Night. Lesson 9 is the first Noel. I think lesson 10 is going to be, I'm not sure yet, but I think it's going to be White Christmas, and then the last will be Joy to the World. And then we're going to do things like Blackberry Blossom, Turkey in the Straw, and some other tunes. And so I hope you've enjoyed these lessons thus far. And if you're not going to join the Patreon, we will see you again anyhow on another lesson down the road. And if you are, thank you for joining. Thank you for subscribing and becoming a Patreon partner in this program. So I hope you enjoyed that, and we will see you next